Hi everyone, today I have my first speech in public speaking. Yeah, I do. We have to dress professionally and we have to stand in front of the class and use our gestures, eye contact, you know how public speaking goes. And if you know, I am a shy girl. But today I will be honoring my grandmother. So I am just practicing my speech and I would like to share a little of her with you. Nurturing, hardworking, resilient, that was my grandmother, Veronica Daly Lewis. My grandmother was known for the large pots of food that she would cook on a daily basis. Not over a gas or electric stove as you may think, but on wood fire. And this food that she would cook was not just for her husband and children, but for all her grandchildren and anyone else in the community that needed a hot meal. Growing up, my grandmother was a constant presence in my life. And a fond memory that we often share is the hairstyle that she would give to us each morning for school. And the days that she wasn't able to find lunch fee for us, but she would still send us to school and told us to run home for lunch. And each time that we went home, nevertheless, there would be a hot meal waiting. My grandmother has deeply impacted on my life, and the values that she instilled in me is what makes me the mother that I am today. She was compassionate, humble, always respectful towards everyone she encountered. She was a pillar of the community and everyone loved her. My grandmother raised 10 children of her own with my grandfather and 1 nephew, but her greatest contribution was the role that she played towards her 7 grandchildren that she cared for. She was a Christian woman that embodied the principles of loving thy neighbor as thyself. My grandmother was hardworking in every capacity that you can imagine. A question that we often ask ourselves is, how did her hands serve her for 77 years? You see, those hands have kneaded several bowls of flour. Those hands have scaled several bowls of fish, peeled several sweet potatoes and yams on a daily basis, and she did it smiling while humming her favorite gospel songs. My grandmother was a type of wife that would remove the meat from the crab and the lobster, just so that my grandfather could eat it comfortably. She was a type of grandmother that would feed several soldiers who would often pass through our community. My grandmother was resilient, and it was because of her resilience that made us the only house in our community with electricity for many years. You see, after reaching out to the government on several occasions, she was left disappointed. So she brought us into the woods and asked my uncles to cut down trees, and with those trees she used to make her own light post. With the help of my uncles, she dug holes all the way from our house to the neighboring community that already had electricity. She then later on went to the electricity company and paid to have them install wires just so that we could have electricity. My grandmother later migrated to the United States, where she transitioned from being a housewife in Jamaica to being one of the best cooks in East Orange, New Jersey, where she worked. She was even featured in a newspaper article for winning a cooking competition. Even as she lived in America, her nurturing continued, as she would send several barrels of food to feed us. And a particular memory that stands out is when she received news that Hurricane Gilbert was going to hit Jamaica. She sent several barrels of food, and with that food my aunt was able to help others who needed a meal. Due to her hard work, she later returned and became an entrepreneur in our community. One story that I hear so often from a young girl in my community is the story of her first bicycle that was given to her by my grandmother, and how she misses the days that my grandmother would call her over for some dinner. My grandmother inspired all her grandchildren to dream big, always ready with a fitting life coat for every situation that we faced growing up. My grandmother survived cancer twice, but she finally lost her battle at the age of 77 in East Orange, New Jersey. Today, as I commemorate her, I implore you all, whenever you're faced with obstacles in life, just remember my grandmother, Veronica Daly Lewis, as she was nurturing, hardworking, and resilient. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how I did. Even as I'm practicing, I'm still nervous, but just let me know in the comment section how you think I did. My grandmother was amazing, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.